everybody. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm tempted to wait a little. Become the most dangerous person in the room. Let's be real. It's funny, an AI actually. I'm tempted to wait a little bit more for more people to join because I know more people are going to join, but our most valuable asset today is our time, and I can't make you guys wait longer than 7 minutes. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate it. I'm really excited. I can't wait to do this with you all. I haven't done this in 8 years. Last time I did it, it was in a physical spot. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Karim Aoudi. I'm the co-founder of Sea Monkey Tribe. And yeah, like I said, I'm very, very excited to be here. Last time I did this, like I said, it was physical work, a physical space. A couple hundred people showed up, and it was a format, so it's sort of like this. I was selling a workshop as well, and one person signed up for the workshop, ended up starting their own market agency. So I hope that happens today. And yes, even if you start a marketing agency, come compete. There's enough clients for everyone. This isn't just for people who have agencies, though. This is for everybody who wants to learn really fundamentals of AI and then learn from the skill set and from the tools that are in my bag that I use every day. Like I've used every day, I try 5 tools or so, and I've been through about thousands of tools in the past 4 or 5 years. And today you're gonna get to see the zibdi for those that don't speak English, like for those that don't speak Arabic, for the gist, the summary of it all. I'll give you guys a shortcut. 90% of what we do with Sea Monkey Tribe is free to learn. This free masterclass. 90% of what we do is free to learn. This is what this free masterclass was about. I'm going to be with you guys today for 3 hours, sharing with you as much as I can. 90% of what we know. But instead of you having to go dig and learn it in 5 years, I'm going to give it to you all today. The other 10% is our paid workshops. And that'll be the last plug for the paid workshops until the end. So, let me talk about my journey in AI very briefly. I started trying to do content generation with AI about 4 or 5 years ago. And the reason why I'm trying to do that is I have an agency. So I'm trying to stay ahead of the game, right? I don't want a tool to replace my agency. We represent world-class global clients. So we've got to make sure we're always ahead of the game. But that's how I started sort of dabbling, trying to find out what AI can do back in 2021. So jump start to this year, just because things are moving so fast, I'm not going to bore you. Sometime in April this year, I started dabbling with what's called no-code tools, no-code coding tools. There's a few of them. We're going to talk about them. What this means, it's like basically allows you to build something by yourself, build a custom app by yourself that usually take a team. So that's exactly what I did in April. I built about 3 of those. Built about 3 of those in 3 weeks, and like insane, powerful tools that now we use. It's our project management. I call it project management app. It's part of it is our project management app. It's like an ERP system for the agency that built that. And if I wanted to build this last year or 2 years ago, these 3 platforms that I built, it would have cost in time 6 months each. Each platform would have cost in time 6 months. In human resources, a full developer team, about 6 or 7 people, and in literal cash, a few $100,000. I built these 3 systems, so it would have taken either a year and a half and $1 million, depending how you do it, or you do it all at once if you have a lot of money. I did all of those by myself in 3 weeks, and that's only possible because of AI today. And this is what I wanted to share with you all today. Now, before we get into the cool stuff, and there's some really, really cool stuff coming. you have to understand the boring stuff first. And I will try to go over them briefly, but you really do have to understand the boring stuff, the different LLMs, and how they work a little bit to get the best out of the tools that are coming. And if you decide to join the workshops, and just to become a better person prompting, to prompt, I say this a lot, the output is only as good as the input. Meaning the output that you get from AI, from any AI tool, is only as good as the input that you give it. And the input that you give it, the better you understand how it works, the better you're going to give it input. So, very briefly, how large language, very briefly, I'm not a technical guy, I'm not a coder, but I like to get my hands dirty. If I get like really fascinated with a topic, I dig really deep to try to understand it, and I go really wide to see all the tools in the field. And this is what happened to me in several things. This is what happened to me in blockchain, reached Bitcoin in 2011. Anyone watching will bought, congratulations. And happened to me with AI, and this is why I'm with you today. So the boring stuff, LLMs, when it first started, if you tried GPT 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever it was autocomplete. Don't know if you remember, if you know what autocomplete is. A long time ago, when people still use Google search, talk about how people don't use Google search anymore. You used to go to Google search and type, "What is my," and they'd finish your sentence. Autocomplete. That's how stupid it was in the beginning. Today it keeps getting smarter. Here's here's the most boring thing I would like you to understand about AI, because I don't want to get stuck on this topic and lose a lot of people. The most boring thing about AI that I think you should understand is that this large language model, which knows thousands of things more than you. By the way, I'm smarter at the AI at being CEO or Chief Innovation Officer of SeaMonkey Drive. You're smarter at it if you work at a high level. You're smarter at ChatGPT at your specific job, but it knows so much more than you, right? It used to be that if I want to hire a team of financial experts and a team of financial consultants and analysts and operational consultants and a team of any communications consultants. It used to be that that would cost thousands. Lawyers, a team of lawyers, stuff. All this information is now a click away. So where is our goal as humans today? Because AI is only getting smarter. Where's our role as humans today? The click and point jobs are gone. There's no click and point job at our agency today because it's all automated and it's so easy to automate. So, so the interesting thing that, according to most people, I think is really interesting about LLMs and how they work. This LLM had to fit all this knowledge into a very little space, much like our brain, but much more knowledge than our brain. And in order to do that, for humans to understand the world, we make these connections, we make these allegories, right? Like sharing connection, as sweet as honey, right? Honey is sweet. We make these connections to understand the world. So the AI had to do that too. And when the AI did that, it found connections that maybe we haven't found yet. And I'm talking about GPT-5, the ChatGPT that exists today. I found this to be true. So if you really understand that, that's a very powerful concept to understand, because if you can now prompt it to give you this view that most humans haven't seen, that's valuable. That's valuable for you, that's valuable for marketing, that's valuable as an advantage over your competitor. So I hope that was clear. It'll definitely be something that's covered in more detail at the advanced workshop because I want to dive into the more cool things. Different LLMs. Most of you use ChatGPT. I'm assuming. I'm not. I know most of you 80% of you, the data says use ChatGPT. That's a large language model by a company called OpenAI, initially founded by Musk. Musk is no longer part of it. There are other LLMs that you need to know about, and at least one other we will be trying today live. I'll be sharing my screen. So there's the ChatGPT, that's OpenAI. There is, I'm sorry, I forget anyone. Yeah, that just has to be written down, but there's a bunch. There's Claude, that's very, very powerful, particularly for code. You can use you use different LLMs for different things. Claude, really powerful for code by Anthropic, and then Grok, which is the AI that's on X, which is by Musk. So you use different AIs for different things. And I believe eventually there'll just be like two, three powerful models that the entire world is using, and fit here and just chump change here and there, much like Samsung and Apple today. So that's a bunch of LLMs that we want to discuss. I just want to go over. We have a bunch of questions that were received from the audience. Let me see. The easiest way to open those up is right over here. I want to go over those, and then we'll dive into to give you an idea of what the flow is going to be like. We're gonna continue doing the boring stuff. Questions from the audience. Some of them are very, very cool. It's very interesting. And then we're gonna go a bunch of AI tools, including Gemini. And inside of Gemini, it has Nano and Theo. We're gonna do a couple cool demonstrations. I'm gonna talk about a tool called Perplexity. I'm gonna talk about Comet, very cool browser. I'm talking about Lovable.dev, Google AI Studio, and then we're gonna mention some cool things I have going on, an AI agent called Solon, and my C-suite executives. And then we're gonna dive into the AI agent build, where we build that AI agent that's connected to your email and your calendar and your Google Sheets, and that can compress time for you and achieve your life goals, not in 10 years, but in 1 or 2. And like I see this happening now, right? I have a goal that ChatGPT says you need 6 months, and a week later it's done. That's the funny thing. You need to know what ChatGPT doesn't know either, right? It's not that smart yet. You're smarter than ChatGPT, and you have to get the right outputs out of ChatGPT, and we're gonna get to that. So what I say I'm going to do, go over some questions, and those are right here. They're in a zip file. Let me unzip them really fast. Let me see if I remember any of the questions. Okay, there they are. Okay, I'm not going to do all of them. There's over 30. I'll go over a few. What is the one thing about it? Okay. How to use it to help us learn better and create good video for the university as a psychology or literature major. So we're going to be going through ChatGPT and making the most of ChatGPT, and they literally have a new function called Study and Learn. I'm not very. I like learning it in different ways than most people. I mean, some people like learning the same ways, like just going really wide. I don't like a structured outline, but it's very easy to create the structured outline for yourself that teaches you everything you need to know to become a lawyer, a mechanic, and anything, an AI specialist, and anything. So another question is, how can I use AI? This is a good one. How can I use AI agents to automate workflows in my company on an enterprise level? This we'll be talking about later. At the end, we're talking about agents. Creating realistic videos for brands. We'll be talking about VO3, and we'll do a little demo. And what's it called? Sora 2 just launched. It's very interesting. ChatGPT checkout just launched. I'll include that in the ChatGPT notes. Another question. check out. Another question, how to use them in content creation. Uh, Very vague question. Yes, we'll be discussing that in several ways. How do you use AI to grow my business? That's an excellent question. I say I would automate all the parts that are manually done right now that can be automated because that automatically frees up so much of your time. So you get an order from Shopify, or you get even worse, you get an order from Instagram. And then what do you want to do with the order? You want to call the delivery person, whoever's fulfilling your orders for you, and tell them, come pick up my order to deliver it if you don't have a fulfillment center. طب this process can be automated. بعت له SMS للزلمه، بعت له WhatsApp with the information. Meaning the order comes on Instagram, automatically an agent picks up that information. It's sent uh, it's sent by WhatsApp to your delivery person. 32 steps process, and we've been talking about that's yeah. That can be done on the agent on the platform that we're going to be building the agent on today. You can build that workflow there. How to train an AI so it becomes more efficient for my business when asked about, although it's getting there. So I just want to understand how complex this question is because it can be answered at several levels. At a superficial level, we're going to be going through it for ChatGPT. The ChatGPT has capabilities that most people aren't using. Projects, internal memory. I mean, once you recognize that it has an internal memory and you start saving the right things in there, then the output automatically improves every time because you don't have to remind it. And one thing I'll talk about when I'm talking about ChatGPT is the difference between prompt engineering and context engineering. It's critical. And then on a more deeper level, at a more complicated level, how do you train AI? You can literally train local model and train it on your private data. But this is a bit more advanced, but again, not that hard to do today. But the challenge with that is when you go for a local model, you automatically have to choose a model with a smaller parameter. Then ChatGPT, which has large parameters. So by default, you're lagging behind anybody who's using ChatGPT API instead of running locally. Trust me, I'm having the same dilemma. And this is critical for enterprise. And I believe that's a question that came up already. And there's a solution for that. We're walking through it right now. We're working through it right now, and it'll be covered in the second workshop. How to use ChatGPT and other apps more efficiently? Excellent question. We'll be going through that. Know more about each AI assistant, what it's specialized or preferred for. Yeah, okay, so I covered that a little bit. You know, it's hard to say, like, does ChatGPT do better captions or does Gemini do better captions? I have my opinion. Some people think it's the other one. I don't want to say which one I use for my clients. Like I said, 90% of what we say, of what we do is failures. You have to test, you have to find out for yourself what's going to work for you. Um, and then whatever I say, if the other model comes out with a new model the next day, you bet your ass I'm going to try and make sure that it's still the case. So you really have to try for yourself and see what's working because, yeah. Deals with business. I don't know what that means. That reminds me of Solomon. We'll get that later. Agentic system design. Again, this is what we're going to be doing at the end. So that's LLMs. Those are the questions. Oh, there's a few more questions, but I think we'll jump right on and move on with covering some tools that are in my stack today. So Gemini, let me share my screen over here. Okay, those questions. Oh no. There you go. Just come. All right. Uh, okay, cool. So the first thing, oh, you know what? Let me do the ChatGPT walkthrough first. Let me do the ChatGPT walkthrough first. Uh, ChatGPT. Where do I even start, man? So one thing to note is, first of all, there's custom GPTs that you can make. Like again, I sort of make my own GPTs, so I don't use these. But there's a lot of cool stuff here that you could try. I personally use projects a lot. So, project name. When you create a project, whether it's for like, you need to create a project for different things, right? So, for instance, you might have a project for finance, project for life, personal, project for life goals, project for homework. If you have clients, you might have projects for different clients. Projects for different research, right? So doesn't matter. I'll just pick investing here. And then when you click projects, you can start inserting different files here. So add files right here. You can start adding different files into this project so that the person that asked, how can I make it smarter and know about my business, before you even mess with internal memory, you can add it because internal memories for like day-to-day stuff and things you remember off the cuff. For like, you needed to know your branding guidelines, your SOPs, your I don't know. Again, this is a very basic way of using just the free version or the $20 version of AI to make sure you're getting the most of it. And now every answer that you get is that much more powerful. It has all your context. And when you're in that chat, it always has this chat now. Like it always has, and you can always add these files and edit these files. And when we get to the agent part, you'll see how we can create files to let the AI erase and write to as well, which is the cool thing about going outside of ChatGPT and plugging into their API. This way you start doing all these crazy things. So another thing I want to show you is obviously all the options that are here. Someone asked how to create like a learning program, right? I haven't tried this option yet, but I'm guessing you can create this study thing for yourself. What I do try a lot of, in fact, I'm out of it. Oh, damn, I'm out of it. I can't show it to you guys. But you guys have to try this. This is ancient mode. This is ChatGPT, and if we'll talk about deep research as well. But since we started, that caught my attention, so I'll start there. Ancient mode is an ChatGPT doing something for you online. So when you get started, it won't just answer you like it regularly does. It's a shame I can't show it to you guys right now, but I'll show you some other really cool things in another browser of agentic behavior. But for ChatGPT here, what it does, you'll see it actually open up its own desktop in the browser. You'll see it start doing stuff. So what can it do? Everything. Like you can give it your username and your password if you are brave enough. That's why I plug in through API to secure all my stuff. You can even, right, so let me finish on agent mode. And like, imagine you want to do research that you know is going to take you weeks, and you can't just prompt, even if you do deep research, You know it's too deep for a ChatGPT to do it. You know that you were, let's say you're a lawyer and you want research for law on commerce, acquisition, something really complicated, بلبنان وبكونغو وبزيمبابوے بكندا. هول الأربع شركات they're joining together. That research will take forever. I'll put an agent on. agent بيروح بفتش بهذا البلد شو laws بهذا البلد شو laws بهذا البلد شو laws. شيء بيعطيني report that I need to act on. And then إذا أنا أعطيه bit by bit, every time I remember something to improve your prompts, I'll say it. إذا من الأول عاطينه how you want the end result to be. So again, if I'm that lawyer and I've done this research before, إخني 4 أشهر, and I have the report the first time, I can give it to ChatGPT and be like, hey, by the way, this is what I'm looking for. In the end, مظبوط أنت عم تعمل a different case, but this is the report that I want. ثالث مرة يعطيكم إياه مثل ما بدكم, right? So this is called context engineering, right? And it's including the output. But it's part of context engineering. You're not just telling it what to do, you're giving it the context and of what it is in and how you want the results to look like. Another feature is obviously add photos and files. I trust everybody's doing that. Add from Google Drive is an interesting feature here. Again, through N8N, which we'll be talking about later, we're going to be building our agent there, is where you can like have the agent be plugged into your drive so it can go back and forth, not just here like in ChatGPT where you have to manually add a file. Web search and Canvas. Oh, Canvas is pretty fun. Canvas is pretty fun. Make Tetris playable in Canvas. Playable here and in Canvas. Do you guys want to wait for the? You know what I'll do? You know what? It's powerful to watch it because it takes like 30 seconds to make what? How long do you think this took in the 90s to make? How many people worked to create Tetris for me to go make Tetris playable here in Canvas? And it just wrote all the code. Yeah, and this isn't even Claude, this is ChatGPT. Last time I timed it, it took about 60 seconds. It's worth the wait. We'll jump to another, anything I want to do. And yeah, after this, I will just do internal memory before we jump on to Gemini, which is another LLM. Just wait a few, just give it a minute. I imagine it'll take longer. Come on. Come on. You see how impatient we are? That's a lot of lines of code. I figured it would do it in less. Variable Tetris and synchro. Okay, come on. Keyboard controls. Okay, almost there. Open up Gemini in the meantime and talk a little bit about that and how this finishes. New features. New features. Oh, stick back to ChatGPT. Back to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is just rolling out in the United States. Instant checkout from ChatGPT. Why am I excited about this? Because it's groundbreaking. It's crazy. Why is it crazy? Because ChatGPT is already stealing search away from Google. People want to go search stuff anymore, and I imagine this happening with you. They don't go to Google anymore. For those that know about Perplexity, go to Perplexity, and we'll be discussing that. They go to ChatGPT. Most people go to ChatGPT. And imagine they never have to leave ChatGPT to make the purchase now. And before this checkout feature launched, One thing I learned, an insight that I realized is the sales cycle is shrinking because everything else is shrinking. Time is shrinking. It used to be that, and this used to happen with me, and it probably happens with you, that if you want to buy a product or service, it take you a day, 2 days. I know for me, it take me a day, right? 2 days max to figure out what I want to buy, and I'm done. Some people take weeks. I know who's quick impulsive buyer used to take a day or two max. But now it's brought down to like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes max. Leash, because ChatGPT is doing all the research for me. Then what are the implications of that? There are huge implications of that. You have to make sure this isn't discussed anywhere here, so I want to talk about it. You have to make sure you're appearing um, inside of ChatGPT when it asks about businesses, if you have a business. And the way you do that, the way you did that in 2019 is through a file on your website called robots.text. That's it. It's the file that the search engines can read. Now you need to have two files on your website. Somebody asked about this, robots.text and LLM.text. And for those that join the next workshop, teach them how to insert that file into their site and how to structure it properly. Okay, so what looks like the game is done. Who's ready to play it? Can I preview it? I don't have to. I can download the code as is, or I can just preview the game here. Uh, let's see. There you go. Forgot what the controls are. Wait, it says what the controls are. Rotate up. It's not working. Why? Why isn't the control working? Anyway, oh, there you go. Now it's worked. So who wants to watch me play Tetris? So guys, I did that in 60 seconds. What else can be done in 60 seconds? What else can be done? Sorry, 2 minutes. اللي كان على عيل it took longer. What else can be done in 60 seconds? Can be done in an hour. Before we move on, internal memory. So like, where is it? They used to have an option. First of all, you can go incognito here, but I don't believe that they don't save the information. But also, I want to show you guys the important internal memory. I feel like it's important. Mine filled up at one point, and I had to empty it, or not empty it, tell it to sort of optimize. There was a lot of duplicate information and stuff. Uh, settings. I don't want to open anything. Anyway, we'll go through that again. No, no, let's not go through that again. Let me tell you, okay, we're gonna do something right now to show you how to use ChatGPT and Nano together, even though you could probably use just Gemini by itself. So what I'm gonna tell ChatGPT right now is go get the public documentation or docs from Google on Nano Banana is an image generator from Nano Banana and best practice. Yeah. So it's good. Right now it thinks I want this information. So it's going to spend a little bit of time to sort of get them. Oh, lovely. So it found the official API. So now what I'm going to say is internalize this in your memory so that when I ask for a prompt, you give me the best possible prompt for Nano Banana. So why am I doing that? I'm doing that so I don't have to do it every time, right? I'm doing that because I'm a human. And humans use funny languages and misquotations and misspelled words and communicate ineffectively. So I don't trust myself, and you shouldn't either, that you know how to talk to an AI. You know who knows how to talk to an AI? Another AI. That's why I use ChatGPT or another LLM to create prompts for me for another AI too. Right? Very powerful stuff. I hope everyone is digesting this. And we're gonna open up at some point space for questions. So notice how we set up. No, oh, okay. This is what I want to show you. See this part? Updated save memo. Right? Sometimes it tells you it saved it, but it would go it didn't save. So make sure that it saved it, and when it saves something, you'll see this. Right? Okay, so now I just want do I have an image on the file I can use? No. I want a prompt to create a picture of a person holding a workshop in a massive auditorium. Auditorium. Okay. I thought it might actually create the image for me. Sometimes they get stupid. All right, so I'm gonna take that image. I'm gonna go to Google Banana. I'll check this features out later. You guys check them out too. And I'm gonna go. Wait, there you go. I'm gonna add. I'm gonna select the image like from here, from tools, create images, and I'm gonna paste. I'm gonna paste that prompt in. All right. I'm not even gonna read it. Okay. So that's with banana. I am not an expert at I like there's so many things that you can dive deep into. So I got really interested in the automation, the AI stuff. I have an agency where they're experts at the images and videos. Yeah. So yeah, there's the image that just came out. I'm gonna download that image, okay? And I'm gonna go back to ChatGPT and I'm gonna go same exercise, but for Google's VO 3 now. And VO3 is a video generator. And it's just another tool inside of Gemini. There's the prompt. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna close this. Tools. I'm gonna pick create video. Selecting this tool, yes, sure. I'm gonna add the photo that I just made. Oh, did I tell the ChatGPT that I wanted it for the same prompt? Yeah, awesome. It figured it out by itself. Wow, ChatGPT's figuring out context. Wow, usually it would have gave me a different prompt. Okay. My chat, this is another point I want to say. Yeah, I guess, not every chat GPT is created equal, meaning literally open up a new Gmail account, sign into ChatGPT, ask it a question, and then go ask the question to your ChatGPT that you've been talking to for however long. And if you've been talking to it right, you'll notice your ChatGPT is smarter. Wish I pressed enter there before. So there you go. That's going to take 2 or 3 minutes. I'm curious what that's going to look like. But while that's happening, actually, usually sometimes that's the video generation if I open a new tab. So I think, can I open a new tab? Yeah, I won't bother. Well, okay, let me talk about the next tool in the meantime. The next tool is Perplexity. I mentioned it a little bit. Perplexity is as a search tool. Perplexity is a search tool instead of Google. It's like 10x better than Google. I haven't used Google's search since I found out about Perplexity. I'll show it to you here. So this is perplexing. Remember how Google was, how you used to ask a question and actually get an answer as opposed to 3 million ads and 3 million stupid results? Well, I have a pimple on my nose or whatever. Like the question could have been more specific, but notice how I'm not getting ads, I'm not getting thousands of clicks. I got an explanation of what I hope I didn't put on my nose. I feel like I drew attention to that now. It's just sorry, it just answers you. So perplexity is very, 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 very cool. I suggest everyone use it. Our video is ready. How long would that image have taken a designer to make? How long would it have taken a video person to make this video?
The press of a new era,
We
an
do.
era defined by artificial intelligence.
That's right.
We stand at the press.
You saw me do that live. I'm impressed. I'm always impressed. Every time I'm impressed. One thing I want to show in Gemini that's a new feature that I thought was really cool. Gemini has gems. I think it's like their versions of projects. So they try to like, you can use gems and give it a role. Give it a role. So one gem can be your CFA, your one gem can be your whatever else, your content create. One gem can be something else. Wow, I haven't tried the mood board, but I want to try the storybook version for you. So I'm gonna make this information up. I'm gonna create a bedtime story I want to create a bedtime story for a little girl named Jenny, who is suffering from a disease. Hard topic. From a disease. Uh, disease. Okay, I want to create a bedtime story for a little girl named Jenny who's suffering from a disease. I just wanted to show this feature really quick. Again, just going through a bunch of stuff that can be used. And the cool thing about this that I thought is the reason why I want to show it is an advantage, a mission advantage, a look of what's to come right now for all image generation tools, for all video generation tools. This it's custom made. So I have a custom made tool that generates more than one at a time. But if you're using ChatGPT or Gemini, these $20 versions, you get one picture at a time. This is the first time where in this public version, not API, you're going to see now it generates the entire book. And by the way, it reads the story too. So the entire, not like it'll create now, I don't know, 10 pages, 10 images of the book. All right, so that was perplexity. There you go. The book is finished. Obviously, I won't play the whole thing. I'll just hit listen when it's ready, just to show you. There you go. Jenny's Dream Light by Kareem Aoude. Apparently, this is the cover. Well, I'll let you. I'll play. I'll hit listen for a little bit.
Snuggled deep under her covers, feeling a little bit droopy. The world outside her window was getting sleepy, but inside, her body felt achy and tired from her sickness. Suddenly, a tiny, shimmering light appeared by her window. It wasn't a star, and it wasn't a firefly. It danced in the air, sparkling like a tiny diamond. The light.
I see one person raise their hand, Maya. Keep your hand raised, please. I will get to your question first when we get to the question part. The next two, يعني هيك عن جد, I'm trying to give anyone, guys, who doesn't join the paid workshops, best advantage they have in knowing everybody that's out there. Yeah, there's two price points for the workshop. But anyway, if you don't want to spend that money for whatever reason you can't afford it, I want to make sure I'm sharing as much as I can. So forgive me if I'm okay, going back and forth. I just want to make sure I cover everything. So one thing I want to show you guys in this comment, and before I even show it to you, I gotta explain it. Gemini is a browser, but it was a browser that was created by Perplexity. That's why I still have it open. Maybe I should remove. Let me open. Let me open comment. Okay. Oh, okay, this is Comet. Okay. So Comet is a browser that was created by Perplexity. It is still in like beta access. Not everyone had access. I had 4 invites. I invited uh, the 4 people who I cared for. I think one person signed up. يا ريت I didn't, because I would have shared 3 here. Anyway, what does Comet do? Comet is the beginnings of the public getting a very easy agentic AI. Comet, I got access to Comet after I made the curriculum for this course. So, so inside of this, you're looking at Comet right now, and inside of Comet is this AI assistant, right? That it tells you what I do. Clear. Wait, am I opened anything here? No, I'm opened on my Zoom. So I can't close all this. Close any tabs not in use. So notice how I just closed all my tabs. That's really crazy, though. Now, what if I told you it was already connected to my Gmail and my calendar, and I say, but I don't want her email to show. Shit. Okay, send an email to Kareem at CMonkey. Hello at cmonkeytribe.com. Saying this is just a test, so my other AI doesn't get lost. So again, this browser is connected to my Gmail and to my calendar, which is, notice how it just made the email for me. And I just click send, I just click send, and that's it, it's sent. And see, I can, where did I send it to? If I open my email now, I mean, I trust people, believe me, that that email actually got sent. I don't want to open my email for you to see private information. So that's Chrome, but not everybody has access yet. You will soon. You will soon. And regardless, we're going to be teaching you how to build something even more powerful today. Okay. I want to discuss 2 more tools. I want to discuss 2 more tools before we open up questions, and maybe we'll make it even interactive. So 2 more tools. Lovable.dev. Someone, Alia, please. Alia is moderated today for us. Thank you, Alia. If you can just type lovable.dev in the chat. Lovable.dev is a no-code platform. There are many no-code platforms. In fact, the next one I mentioned is also a no-code platform. I'm constantly experimenting with several of them, but this one I feel confident enough to say out loud and recommend, much like I did when I recommended Shopify. We were Shopify partners way back when, and we still are. And there's a lot of tools. I feel confident. Lovable.dev. No one knows what lovable.dev is. So this is love.dev. I'm gonna open it from my browser because I'm already signed in. Lovable.dev allows you to, and this will first workshop, either be doing it here or another platform currently exploring. That might be more powerful, but I suspect they're the same. In any case, what is Lovable? Lovable allows you to build a website with a prompt, create apps and websites by chatting with AI. So I'm going to create something that I know is going to be very easy and very fast, just so we get to see it. Something as simple like create a fantasy football, create a fantasy football website. Fantasy football website, right? Or if you wanted like more commercial, create a fantasy. Uh, uh, create a protein shake subscription business. Now, if you've been paying attention, you should know this isn't how you should prompt it, right? For those of us who've been paying attention, this is not the prompt we used to build, right? Because I'm a human. You have to make sure you get a proper prompt with everything that you want. How Lovable wants it. And I've showed you very good clues for how Lovable wants it for those that can't join the workshop. Um, so go ask ChatGPT. And I haven't been able to ask of AI anything that it hasn't been able to do something reasonable, right? مش خلي مالتي تصير دلعني again. Something that it can actually do. She's gonna kill me. So yeah, so the reason why I said that is push your AI. Um, I want to give one more. Google AI Studio is very much similar to this. There's no reason for me to jump on it. It should be the same thing. But again, don't prompt it like I just did. Prompt it properly. Give it all the context. Give it your brand name. Give it what businesses, what prices you. Are you going to be able to change all these things later? Yes, of course. Guys, AI is going in a direction where you're going to be able to throw away software. We're not there yet. Throw away software and just build a new one. We're not there quite yet, but you can build stuff incredibly fast. So it took me 3 years, 3 weeks to build, even in April, because it was my first time, and I had to go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of prompts to finally get the result that I want, to get it to work. Because you might hit dead ends, you might hit a wall. If you're building something simple, I want a website that promotes my dental clinic. I want a website that sells these 1, 2, 3 products. You're fine, you know? But if you want something really advanced, really powerful, then you're going to go through this journey that I went through, of really learning how to take it to the edge. You know, like I've been working with AI for 4 years, so I knew where to push, how to finally solve that problem. This is what I give you. I compress the time that you need. That's what the workshop is about. Because you can go and figure it out. On 90% of what we do is free to learn. The remaining 10% is invite only. As you can see, the website is done. Is it 100% completely done already? Probably not. But like, notice where it is already. Notice how much time this would have taken, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna guess some of the buttons don't work already, right? So I click on this, it doesn't work. The start your subscription. See plans also doesn't work, right? So it's, but I mean, it was just one prompt and it was a shitty prompt. Imagine what a good prompt can do, right? And spoke a little bit about how you do good prompts. And I'll give a final hint and a final clue before we open up, um, questions. And the clue is there was a leak. There was a leak sometime this year. And this leak happened on GitHub. Again, these are for the people who can't afford the workshop. For the people who do join the workshop, you'll be given much more details and all the learnings. There was a leak on GitHub. GitHub is a place where people put code. It's like a code repository. And there was prompts in this leak for very powerful tools. And I was able to find this leak. You can find this leak too, and learn a lot from it. So I suggest you do that. Ali, can I like, how do I see questions? Chat. Let's Attendees can chat with hosts and panelists. Guys, you can send your questions in, I think, now. And I'll try to answer as many as I can. I will answer Fatima, whoever we had there. Is this all legal? That's the first question? Yeah. What do you mean, is this all legal? What's not legal about what I just showed you? Yeah, this is all 100% legal. This is, yes, what? How can I get a passive income using AI? Something sure, without capital cost. Okay, I will skip the silly questions. Yeah, you got to put in a little bit of work, at least in the beginning. Can you set up a passive income with AI so that maybe you're just tinkering with it once a week, once a month? Sure, but who's going to do it for you? The AI? We're not there yet. We're not there yet. How can, like, another question, like, I can create a story and sell it? Yeah, yes, yes, it's your IP. You can create a story and sell it. Absolutely. I'm going to keep going to the questions. AI to send emails and answer comments. Yeah, so many tools for that now. And again, I just showed you comment. Answer IG comments. You can do it in N8N or ready-made tools like was it ManyChat? How do I make an online course and sell it several times? Yeah, post it online, do an ad, sell it several times. Let me see more question. Is it easy for the developer to change something in the website we created recently? Same question while I'm still here. Yes, you notice on this website itself, I can toggle between looking at the website and looking at the code. Guys, this is a custom website that this what I already showed you. And you went to someone 5 years ago and said, give me this, custom made like I just did, Miss Shopify. Look, all the files are here. These are all the files. This is the favicon, it's the placeholder, all the files, all the assets, right? All the files are here. So yeah, this would have cost tens of thousands, right? Tens of thousands. هيدي يلي ما فيها شيء كتير basic. It's just 3 products, right? Let me keep going through the questions. Is this all legal? That was lovely. Sorry, I'm trying to scroll and make sure I don't miss any. Can you please show us an example of a good prompt for love book? Like you just did with Nano Banana. بس ما هو يسأل حالك what you just asked him. I showed you how I got the prompt for Nano Banana. So you need to do the same thing for love. Using internalize it in the memory. Exactly. Like you just answered your own question. How did you connect email and calendar to Perplexity? I didn't connect it to Perplexity Elite. I connected it to Comet, which is a browser by Perplexity. And once you open up Comet, they'll just ask you to connect your Gmail and connect your calendar. What about generating? Oh, that's a good one. I forgot to talk about that. That's a good question. I'm not sure forgetting anything. What about generating a realistic influencer avatar? Do you recommend these days? What is the best app? Hey Jen, Anya, please type it in the app in chat. Hey Jen is one. If you notice, there's a few on my page. There's a few of me that are AI generated, and there's one of Caesar, our AI CEO, that's AI generated. Those were done with HeyGen. You can also use Runway. أنا عم بطلع هون مرحبا يا جماعة. You can also use Runway, and yeah, and then realistic. That was a good one. So what you need to do is, yeah, Google, yeah, Nano Banana, yeah, ChatGPT. You need to go to Nano Banana, will probably be easier. Go tell it to create an image of this person, and then more images of this person, different spaces, right? So, well, you can train it in so many different ways, but I do recommend HeyGen. For an easy, like it's the easiest way for you to do it. There's obviously more advanced ways as well. Oof, oof, wait. Excuse me. Again, trying to find where I was the question. Can you teach us about agents in Copilot? I am not a coder. I know I've taught myself how to teach code. I'm not a computer scientist, right? But like, when you look at this stuff long enough, it starts making sense. Shopping cart. شو يعني shopping cart? Choose your plan. And this coding stuff is not that complicated. I code using either Claude or GPT, if that helps. One tool I didn't mention, if I mean you're a coder, I would use Cursor, and I would use PRDs, which is project requirement document. This will allow you to do some very cool stuff and be more accurate and with less mistakes than Level. Because if you're a computer scientist, you should be able to do that. How to maximize the benefits of using such agents, specifically in education. Let me see. Can you? Okay. How to maximize the benefits of using such agents, specifically in education. This is a follow-up question to the agents and co-pilots. I'm not familiar with Copilot. I can't answer the follow-up question, but what I will say is, you have to have certain guardrails, and you have to make sure that, I mean, if you're talking about like an AI interface chatbot with the students, you have to make sure that it has a knowledge base. And then finally, on that, stop using AI tools to see if students are plagiarizing, because 40% of the time, the AI tools are wrong now. They can't figure out what was actually written and what wasn't. Hey, can you still have privacy? Excellent question, Sabine. Can you still have privacy when connecting your Gmail or any account? Do you have privacy now? Right? Like that's the question you're asking. When you connect your Gmail account to what? To comment on someone? To comment, I mean comment. To comment that tool, then like what's the difference between Google having your data and this other company? This is the question that you have to sort out for yourself that I'll happily discuss in much, much more detail at the workshop because it's obviously a very important question. So it's like personal preference, انت هلا كيف تشتغلي. Do you have all your passwords saved in your browser right now? That I don't know. You're telling me انت you're more secure than the people who launched this browser or the people who launched any agentic system. هلا انا بخاف احطهم من GPT, because GPT they use it to train data. So أكيد you shouldn't do it to GPT in my personal opinion. The free version, مش the free, the customer facing version of ChatGPT, the free of $20 or $200, I wouldn't connect or put my personal data in there because they're training their AI on people's data. So scary stuff, definitely wouldn't put it there, but you can put it in the back end through what's called an API. Next question. In projects like you did with the Nano Banana and told the AI to remember this is Joseph, fake name, Joseph Slam. In projects like you did with the Nano Banana and told the AI to remember for further prompt creation, can you do the same but for like a business? Yes, yes, you can. Example, all the next arts are, yes, yes, exactly. That's the whole point. That's exactly what I was trying to show you. And you can apply this in any, absolutely any field that you want, any project that you want. And um, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, it can become a very, very, very smart companion for you. As long as you keep feeding it with data, let's say you're just starting out as an architect and you just finished your first project, you gave it to it, right? And then you gave it your second one, your third one, fourth one, and every one is better than the last. The fifth one is 10 times better than the first one that you gave it. So yes, no, not strictly in the same field, absolutely any field, but make sure you're using the right AI for the right thing. So like, I wonder what your role is in the architecture company, right? Because there are some really cool, there's AI tools for every. I know I'm a business person. I know I'm interested in what AI tools are important for me that can make my business more successful, more efficient, more productive, right? That's my journey in AI. That includes content generation systems and C-suite AI executives and ERPs. So yeah, I hope I answered your question. If you want to create a product, like for example, a machine, which tool do you recommend? Okay, so yeah, so that's what and I wish I could answer that. I can, man, if who's Alia? No, that's not Alia. Hold on, let's see who asked that question. Rula, if you email me that question and be more specific, just a little bit more specific, and so I have your email. I will do a little bit of search for you to find something that makes sense for you. Because again, if I'm an architect, if I'm a digital marketing agency, so the tools that I look at are within this sphere. Healthy AI tools that do what an architect does. Yeah, tools for them. Right? How good are they? Where are they? Different tools are in different places. Um, I would very much utilize the ChatGPT deep research function for something like this. So I am an architect, since we're on the architect exam. I am an architect. I am new to AI. I want to know which AI tools, blah, 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 right? Deep research. And when you do deep research, it asks you follow-up questions to get richer answers for more context. Answer those questions deeply, and you'll get better output. Next question from Noura. Can any of what you discussed create a series of images with the same characters or just limited to one image at a time? Excellent question. Google Banana has this lovely thing called character persistence. So Google Banana, you can do it, yes. With VO3, it's a little bit harder, but still doable. Runway ML might be a little bit better at this. They just launched like a new version of Runway ML. That's very interesting as well. That will help with this. So yes, it is doable, and we actually do it at our agency all the time. We have to do it. It's challenging but doable. We're getting better every day. Next question. Oh, I think that's it. I think we reached all the questions. That's fantastic. Um, all right. Who's ready to move on to building your AI agent? Raise your hand. Okay, I see Ramsey being raised. From everything I just said, does anybody have a follow-up question they would like to ask? Now is the time. And meantime, let me see, go over my notes, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Okay. Okay, fantastic. Let me tell you a little story I said here. When I went this morning, the last time I created the agent that we're about to build today was in April. And man, it took forever to figure it out. And oh my God, it's so much easier now. I can't wait to show you. But before I knew that, I checked this morning just to make sure that this goes. I checked this morning and I think I got down at like, I don't know, 9:30 a.m. to check. And by 9:35 a.m., I was doing coffee and doing something else. And I did that before we did this curriculum. So I expected to need another hour, maybe 2 hours, an hour and a half to go through this process, but it's going to take about 5 minutes instead. So instead, before we go to the agents, I want to talk about three things, and then we'll dive right into the agent. Um, some cool things you can do with AI today that I think you should do if you are a company today. And it's what we're implementing. We're implementing C-suite executives, and I won't talk about all of them. I'll talk about one. I'll talk about an AI CFO. Because there's a lot of companies who make less than $1 million who could probably use someone with the knowledge of a CFO to run their numbers, do a P&L for them. They don't know how to do a P&L, and they can't afford a CFO. But what does a CFO for a small size company, e-commerce company, something like that? What do they really need? Jamie Dimon for some CFO of a bank. They just need someone to do these reports. But you know how easy it is for an agent to do this information now and to plug into all your systems. This is something that we're going to be discussing in workshop number 2. And then Solon. Solon is my AI personal agent. You might get a sneak preview of it today. And it's an advanced version of what we're going to build today. And it's something that no matter what Comet does, or what ChatGPT does, or what any LLM does, Solon AI will always be valuable to me because I built it to fit a need for Kareem and for operators like Kareem. Solon plugs directly into my project management app. So I can go into Solon on WhatsApp or Telegram and say, hey, Solon, I need a marketing campaign for next week for this client. And Solon will go to my work app, see who's available from the team to work on this project, create that plan, and then upon my confirmation, I'm the human in the loop. When I approve the plan that Solon made, it distributes those tasks automatically into my project management app. Because I value privacy and data, and others do too, um, I use Solon most of the time for most things. I connected my Gmail to comment for just showing this and to test, to be honest. But like more personal details, my work database, my password, stuff like that, that's all held privately. Um, okay, so yeah. Second, before the last plug for the workshop, the first one is going to be about building your own AI-powered site. What does that mean? It means building your own site, but custom made, just like this one, and embedded with the most insane AI features anyone could ever dream of. So yes, obviously it has an AI chatbot that's available to your customers 24/7, not 8 to 9 and someone needs to answer and they're late. لا, it's available 24/7. ما بحكي عن chatbot مثل من زمان. لا, this is an artificial intelligent being entity. It has access to your knowledge base. It will be your best salesperson, better than any salesperson you could have hoped to be in the chat, right? Because it knows all your data. It even, at the basic step. And now at a more advanced step, what else can you do with AI? Right? These are going to be things that we'll be discussing in the advanced workshop. What else can we make your website do? Can we track customer journeys? Can we personalize journeys? Can we make each website experience different for every target customer? The way the answer is yes, you can. And you can do a lot more things, right? And all of those are going to be covered in the first workshop. Now, the second workshop, and I just realized this today, I'm going to be launching a live business I've been wanting to launch in the first workshop. And in the second workshop, in the agentic workshop, I will be again creating the agentic systems and automations that will help this business run. Automated 90 to 95% of the time to the person that first asks, how do I create passive income? Buy the workshop and do everything I do, right? So I'm going to do this live, and everyone with me does this live, right? And there's two types of seats, physical. It's going to be in Beirut, the digital districts on October 2nd, the first, October 9, the first one, October 16, the second one. And 30 physical seats, those are limited, a few spots already sold today. And there's online seats for those that want to join, just like this today. I trust it's beneficial. I'm glad I added that option. So yeah. All right. So I need to open up comment because I made a new email today. Hopefully I'll remember it. Gmail. Oh shit! It already knows my Gmail. I need another Gmail, bro. Gmail sign in. Can I make another browser maybe? Yeah. Add comment profile. There you go. Workshop. Done. Gmail. There are a few people who raised their hands. If you still have questions, please share them in the chat. I believe everyone can still chat. شو هذا ما فتح؟ Yeah. Yeah. Promising. Okay. So notice how here automatically it asked me to sign in. Someone asked me, how did you connect Gmail? I'm going to do it here. But now I'm going to do it with the workshop email, which is workshop. For those of you that want to follow along, sign up right now to n8n.io. I'll be doing it too shortly. What was it? Workshop 2025? Shit. Sorry, give me a second. Okay, so I just signed into, right? So there you go. This is where it asks you to connect your Gmail and Gmail calendar, right? And make it default. That's not really what I want to do right now. What I want to do is go to n8n.io and I am gonna get started. The email is what? Okay, everybody gets a 14-day trial here for free. You don't pay anything. Save that. Oh, please don't. I can skip this part though. I'm just gonna pick anything here. It doesn't really matter. Skip this part. Okay. So before I sort of build this, I guess beautiful to talk about a little bit about N8N. N8N is a no-code automation platform, not no-code not no-code code platform, no-code automation platform. And what it does is can automate anything, and you can build agents inside of it, and you can include AI agents inside. Like, literally, think of the beauty about this is it allows you to bring the physical old analog into the digital, into AI. Yeah, so I'll tell you what I mean. There is a document, an Excel sheet. There's an Excel sheet that you have to go as a, I don't know, salesperson or a supplier or whatever. You got an Excel sheet, you got to go and look at it and study the information وتشيل ما بعرف شو وتحط ما بعرف شو وبعدين بدك تعمل ريبورت من هالاكسل شيت اللي هو ريبورت وبعدين بدك تبعت ايميل. طب هو هذا كله البروسيس بينعمل على نيتن. Agent accesses the Excel sheet. Agent analyzes based on what you want. Agent sends the email. Again, there's a million things we can automate. There's a million things I can talk about. I want to give you the 90% that's free, that lets you roam and figure out, like, you can do a lot with the information I've given you so far. And what I'm about to show you as well. And again, I can't believe how fast it is. I'll just hit try an AI workflow and wow, wow. I'm gonna go back home and I can't believe that. So no. هنفتح something like I'll build it myself to show you guys. Okay, so first thing is we're gonna do a chat, right? A chat trigger. So this is how we are gonna chat. I'm gonna make it available publicly so that now this is how I can chat with my AI agent. طبعا I can chat with him on WhatsApp, I can chat with him by email. Again, this is just an example of one flow that can be made in a million different ways. Authentication, none, and this is the initial message that the bot is gonna send, right? So that's my first node done. Everything go. What just happened? Did I close it? What just happened? Yeah. Sorry guys, not sure I want to. Ah, here we go. I'm here. Okay. فتحها. Okay, never mind. All right, so that's the first node. Yeah, once I click outside of that, this is my first node. This is how this workflow triggers. That's why it's called a trigger. Next node I want to add is AI and AI agents. Connected chat trigger node. Set. Okay. Now I'm gonna add simple memory. So it remembers stuff. Okay. Now I'm gonna add the different models. OpenAI. Okay. This is the only. Oh, you get free credits? No way! I get free credits, so I get to show you it without having to show my API key. Awesome. All right, there's a simple memory. Now, I want to add my Gmail. I'm going to click here. I'm going to click new credential, and I'm going to sign in with Google. And it's going to open up this email that I want to connect. I'm going to say select all, continue. Connection is successful. I'm going to close this and click on these. Now I can send a message in Gmail. What about if I want the AI to start booking my calendar for me so I can organize my life? Create new credential. Sign in. Gmail. Select all. View and edit. Yeah, so it can tell you what's in your calendar and write stuff to your calendar. I'm tempted to start letting people talk if anyone's interested when we finish this, if anyone feels like asking more questions and interactive. Seems like I missed something here. Oh, there you go. Just pick that calendar. And there you go. Now this is a fully functional workflow. I know you don't believe me, but I'm done. Like I figured this out this morning that it's this fast. It's crazy. I love it. I'll show you how this works. Open chat, and this is the AI. Notice, I think the first thing it should tell me is hi. See what it says. I'm just right? I just chatted with it, and you notice it'll show you which nodes got activated. So I said nothing about email, nothing about my calendar. So it just used these nodes to respond to this message. Now I'm going to say send an email to hello at whatever at xyz.com saying hello, we are live at the workshop. Right? Obviously, that email isn't going to get received by anyone, but notice how you saw this thing show. Then I'll open up this Gmail now so you guys see that it's in the sent folder. Oh, there you go. So I already got the response. Hello. Right, so let me show you. Sent is 8:05 p.m. just now. And then I just received at, same second. 0 minutes ago, hello, we are live at the workshop. This email was sent automatically by N8N. If you do it with, by the way, Solon uses N8N, but because I have a custom domain and I don't use Gmail, it's not free basically. فلت الهيدا. Fantastic. Okay, we're gonna have to continue like this. Yeah, it doesn't say this email was sent automatically by N8N. Maybe it's better for me to put it like this now. All right. So what was I doing? Yeah, that's it can also book in my calendar. I trust you guys believe it does that too. But you know what? Let me show you. And the interesting thing is I didn't do it. Adding AI search capability over but I need to figure out the best way to do that. Again, anything I want to say now, or I want to open it up here for any questions on this. If you want to go ahead and ask your questions in the chat, I will address them. Let me share you'll be getting an email right after this workshop with more details about the workshops. The dates are October 9 and October 16, same time as now. It'll be in Beirut District. Again, first one is about building an AI powered site. Second one is about building automations that support it, like operationally. And I will be doing my own live example for something I've been wanting to be built. So these workshops are connected. You can take them separately. You don't have to, but you can take them together as well. In terms of the cost, there's an early bird pricing that's active right now on both. It's 675 for the first workshop. I forget the price of the second, a little bit more. Again, you'll get full details right after the workshop. And for both, this is for the seated pricing, where you get to be there and ask me questions personally, and additional advantages of support after the workshop. So you guys make sure that you actually have something functional and you're on the right track. But for those who find that a little bit too much, I'm glad we added a digital option that's a lot more affordable. First one will be 100, and the second one will be 150. I see a few more questions. Let me see. He said it is my real name. Sorry, Joseph. Sorry. Uh, Please, can you share the dates of the workshop, the cost, and the nature of the training? Yeah, the nature of the training, I hope I explained that already. It is hands-on. So I'll be doing something, and there'll be a few people in the workshop helping me as well, and they'll actually be coders. So there are certain things that they know about hatta more than me, and I can get you really far. But just to make sure that no one gets stuck, we have people in place during the meeting and support after to make sure that you guys, one, if you come to the first workshop, launch an AI powered site. إنه ما مفروض ما تطلعوا من workshop without one unless you want to build an Uber. Even if you want to build an Uber, I can build you an Uber. بس إنه can we build an Uber that's going to compete in 3 hours? Be شوي reasonable. And then second workshop, again, building the AI systems and AI agents that help support this business. You don't have to invent both, but it'll likely be of benefit. Yes, you can remove was sent by N8N from the email. Like I mentioned earlier, my personal agent, AI agent, Solo on AI, sends emails without that line because I use a custom domain and I have a paid plan instead of the free plan that we were just on. Does Perplexity have an AI feature as Q&A to teach us how to generate our projects? Some people use Perplexity in ways that I haven't used it before with okay success. Comment has an AI feature that you can use very, very wisely. I'm not sure I understand what you mean by generate our projects, or G, like school projects. How can we use the chat URL outside chat URL? Yeah, excellent question. I'm glad you asked that. I'm gonna open this thing already. Again, it doesn't have to be this chat function, right? You can chat with it on WhatsApp or whatever. But why didn't it publish? Second. Make chat public. Oh, I didn't save it maybe yet. Oh, it's inactive. So I'm gonna make this active. Got it. And now that I've activated, it should. There you go. So there you go. You can chat with it already. Right? Hi, Nathan. It thinks my name is Nathan, and that's in the prompt over here. Right? مش my name. Its name. هو مسمينه Nathan. هون you can add like a system message of how you want it to act. Right? Because if you want something more, hi, my name is Jack. Right? مثلا. And whatever. Just to show you that all of this is live, and I'm going to save, and I'm going to refresh. Hi, my name is Jack. Okay, assistant. Good. So that answers that question. Yeah, how can you that first? So there you go. It's a little complicated, but we'll be covering it in the second chat. But basically, man, should I open Solon? خوفك شوي خوفكم شوي. Basically, that first trigger is it a webhook? Is it a webhook or is it the WhatsApp triggers? There's a trigger instead, and it's a webhook trigger, I believe. Yeah, so it's a bit more advanced. We'll cover it in the more advanced workshop. Can perplexity be addressed by, yeah, that's an excellent question, man. Can perplexity be addressed by voice command instead of chat? Yes, all of them can. And in fact, that's how I talk to them. In fact, ChatGPT talks back to you. And I really like this version where I just open I press a button and I just starts talking to me. And I ask it questions. I ask it to reveal things about myself that I might not know. I ask it to show me my blind spots. I'm very creative about the questions that I ask, and I'll do my best because it was promised as part of joining this free masterclass. It was going to be developed anyway to develop to share some prompts, some basic prompts. Um, so you see what like a master 10 out of 10 prompt looks like for me. I'll do my best to share those with you as soon as possible. If not, today, Monday at the latest. I hope somebody from my team watching takes note. There's a few people watching from my school, not from my, oh yeah, from my school, but the school that my son is attending as well. I'm glad you're here if you still are. There's somebody that applied to a position with us who's watching, and I'm glad you're here as well. I've been, I've delegated, I've I've set it up so we can have an interview with you. You're going to be getting an interview. I hope you learned a lot today. What else? That's it. Actually, send workshop. Go by my workshop. Let me see more questions. Where do I see Q&A? Yes, of course I can check Q&A. Apparently, there's more questions somewhere. Q&A. There's oh my God. There's so many. Okay. Anything game changing for education? Education, game changing. Yes, it's all game changing. All of it. What do you mean? Your children are learning differently. Children are learning very, 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 very differently. And you better adapt and you better give them the tools inside of school and not outside of it. Some schools are already doing this. Um, I answered that. How to use online to make an online course out of my videos and said it several times. Sort of went through that. Get the workshop. We'll do that in the workshop. Why all the time Gemini Pro? I cannot make transform any image to video. It tells me that I cannot do. I don't know. Maybe you need to choose the VO3 function, or you have on a paid. You're not on a paid version. It should runs out of credits in 3 times. Try Flow. Try Flow. It's also a Google product, and you'll also get access to a more advanced version of Google Nano Banana and VO3 than the one I showed on Gemini. I'm glad I remembered that. How can you protect your identity? Sharing content with AI, creating content based on information you share. You're very, very careful not to give it to ChatGPT, like I said earlier. And you're very, very careful. Like the thing is, you have to be realistic as well. I'm trying to be as careful as I am, having the data be saved, not somewhere else, somewhere private in my own backend. Um, but at the same time, I mean, it's a cloud server, it's still on the cloud, right? My passwords are all on the cloud, so it's this fine line. It's this very fine line, but there's an enterprise solution for that. How to activate the buttons on the website. You keep prompting it until it does. But if you don't enter, and I'm guessing this person's talking about Lovable website I created earlier. You have to prompt it again and tell it what's not fixed or what's checked, what's not fixed, and fix it, and so on and so forth. Again, what used to take me 300 prompts, what would have cost me on Lovable hundreds of dollars or maybe even more, حتى على Lovable. Now it's just 5 prompts for me, right? And that's what we'll teach you at the advanced workshop. How secure would a low-code website be, safe from being hacked? Excellent question. Um, this is what you learn at the advanced workshop, right? How to make sure that it's secure. If it was secure, my app would have been hacked up. There's enough people with eyes on me poking through already the code. But you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing. You have to at least know how to tell AI what to check. But at the end of the day, even if you don't come to the workshop, I would find a developer you can trust on Upwork when I pay them $50, $100 to review your code when it's done. انت شايفها انت كلها عم تشتغل وعم تكبس وعم تشتري وعم يوصلك ايميل و everything's working. Okay, let me make sure, spend $50, $100, spend have a developer look at it for an hour security wise, make sure it's safe. Um, there's a few ways that you can do that. Even yourself, as a first step, you can push your code from Lovable to GitHub, and then from GitHub, you can take it anywhere to any other AI. Say, hey, do a security audit for this app, right? This is the first step. And then as a final step, have a human look at it. Website or app. Yeah, same answer. What's the difference between Gemini Flash and Gemini Pro? One's less. No, there's difference. There's a difference between the free version and the paid version. I've heard about Pro AI. عرق علي زمان. I never stuck on it. Guessing this writes captions and stuff like that. هول التولز بطلوا كتير يفيدوا. One thing I didn't show you, because I got free credits, is OpenAI. You have to log into OpenAI and get what's called an API to plug it into places. To start, Maya, Maya, I just saw your question. I'm answering. Um, yeah, so yeah, I answered that already. So Poe AI, yeah. So one thing I would say is one thing you'll realize after you start. If you dive deep into NA10 and you come to the workshop, one thing you realize is that 99%, every single tool out there today, AI tool, is an LLM wrapper, a GPT wrapper, meaning Poe is probably just ChatGPT وحدود interface جديد. So basically what I'm telling you is if Poe is $20 a month, you can go now do everything Poe does for you yourself with NA10 for $3, $4 a month. Is there, from an anonymous and an attendee, is there a website that is free and create a small video from a story content and keep the same character for each chat? I literally shared a few options for this, right? The Gemini storybook version, and if you use Nano Banana and VO3, right, you can have character persistence. Google Banana already has character persistence by itself. A question from Michelle. What is the best AI tool or method that can summarize and explain the content of my course materials? Ah, textbooks in a professional, subject-focused way without adding any necessary information, while also teaching the subject as if it were a university professor, but in a short amount of time and in a way that makes everything clear and easy to understand. Here's what I think. I think this is the best prompt you've ever given when prompting ChatGPT. I need you to take this prompt that you just gave me and put it into ChatGPT and put it into projects and give it examples of what these summarizations look like and use everything else I taught you and see if it doesn't work. Which best AI tool? But again, you can build an AI agent, right? So ChatGPT can do this by itself at a basic level, but إذا بدك more advanced, you can build على anything more advanced agent that's summarizing and doing all this information, and you give it a knowledge base and train it, so on and so forth. Another question from an anonymous attendee, also about Poe. I guess it was the same person. Lemma has a few questions. Which workflow automation tool do you prefer, N8N or Make? Excellent question. They're both good. N8N is better. Make has been around for a while. N8N is miles better. It's like, and Make is insane. Until N8N launched, Make was insane. But N8N is AI native, much more powerful. You can do a lot more things. So yeah, I prefer N8N. But there's other platforms for auto. You asked for automation. For automation, Make. Between N8N and Make, which one aligns better with my needs? N8N for the purist, for the reasons I just described. Why? Lots of questions between N8N and Make. I'm going to keep going. Do you find N8N or Make more intuitive for building complex workflows? N8N. In your experience, which platform offers more flexibility? N8N. Direct and engaging. Who's Lemma? Which one wins for you? Like Lemma chose ChatGPT questions. Which one wins for you? I said it. Which workflow? I said it. Okay, so same question repeating. Creating AI agent is not free. What is free? Like this masterclass is free. Well, this free masterclass is not free. It requires your attention, and I'm selling you something. Um, what tools do I teach? So that's not again, going back to the AI agent is not free. So yeah, no, there's a free ChatGPT version. Is it any good? Oh, not really. N8N has a free trial for 2 weeks. You could probably make some money before those 2 weeks are over, if you really wanted to, and pay for N8N from the money that you make. That's how I started. I started with $0 8 years ago on Shopify. And you can do much crazier things today. Which tools do you teach? Anna, I don't teach. Anna, I do. Anna, I'm a doer. This is a free workshop to show you guys what tools Anna I use every day from the thousands and thousands of tools that I've come across. I gave you some gems today that I feel like everybody should be using. Which tools we will be using in the workshops? Lovable is one of them, and N8N is another one of them. And we may use additional tools as well to build out an AI-powered site and to build out agents that coordinate with each other and support the business. Can we have access to the recorded session? Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone will receive a recording of the session tomorrow, as soon as we have it, but tomorrow morning for sure. It'll be auto-generated by Zoom, and we'll send it to everyone as soon as we have it. Final question from Maya. Any media workshop for a production house from pre-production to post-production? Nothing in the works right now, but it could very easily be produced because, I have a digital marketing agency. Very easy for me to make that workshop. It's just a lot of it. Look, I probably wouldn't be comfortable doing that workshop, and I'll tell you why. Because I wouldn't feel comfortable doing a workshop that's paid where I know I'm purposefully going to leave out information. And I have a digital marketing agency. So I'm likely, even like without trying to, unconsciously, I'm biased towards my own agency. And there might be a tip or two that's very useful for you that I won't say because I feel like it's my IP or something that I worked really hard for. The two workshops that are there, I don't, it doesn't compete with me. And then even if you want to build an agency at these workshops, ahlan sahlan. But I'm not going to tell you how I run inside of mine. But I feel like that's my IP. A question from Isabel. I'm an animator and I'm currently using Midjourney, bravo. VO3, bravo. Runway, bravo. Gemini, bravo. Nano Banana, bravo. Come work for us. And I'm amazed how fast the pace is. Staying updated and trying is the best thing to do, I think. And yeah, Isabel, you said it all. Do you have any advice concerning? Yes, Isabel, and thank you for your very thoughtful question. I don't know where you work, but please apply. Work at cmonkeytribe.com. So, Yeah. So I believe we're coming to a time where AI is going to take away all the point and click jobs. I think it's ironic that we thought AI would come for the factories first, but it came for the creative jobs first, and it's doing pretty well at. Now, it's going to come for every job, for all jobs. The only jobs that will remain in the near future, not in the long future. No jobs will remain in the long future. The only jobs that remain in the next 5 years, in my mind, are high order value work. So, people that come up with strategy, people that come up with idea, people that can problem solve. Um, the human in the loop that's using the AI to the best of its capability, right? Because junior coders ما بقدر حدا يعمل silly pictures على كانفا ما بقدر حدا يعمل silly videos ما بقدر هول صاروا هينين كتير وكتير يعني lawyer صار هين وfinance صار هين وaccounting صار هين so knowledge is now free. Knowledge صارت ببلاش. الشطارة وين the rigor of creativity and architecture thinking, systems. That's where you shine. I believe we're going to a time where we're gonna have so much free time because AI has a lot of the jobs. We're not there yet. بالعكس هلا is a small window of time where you gotta work really hard. I'm working harder today than I've ever worked because I know it's a very short window of time, very, very short window of time. So short that حتى in Silicon Valley today, where all these AI companies work, where work-life culture was so important. Hella, I just read an article the other day, some of them are adopting 996 culture. يعني 996 culture هم بيشتغلوا بالصين 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. ليش? Because they're racing. We're talking about these AI companies, OpenAI and Grok and Anthropic. They're racing with each other. They know that the advance so fast, and eventually superintelligence arrives. Superintelligence arrives, kill and not a bit. And superintelligence will come. ما بعرف امتى. Whoever says بيعرف عم بيكذب. So yeah, so one last time, guys. 90% of what we do at Sea Monkey Tribe is free to learn. I hope this was really, really valuable. I hope people learned a lot. I genuinely do you got something out of this. If you have a follow-up question, feel free to send it. We'll do our best to answer. And thank you all for joining. It means so much. Thank you for spending this time with me. I know it's just been 2 hours, but we can end it here. Obviously, for the paid workshops, we need all the time. If anybody has any more questions, I see one more question here. Can N8N be integrated with Google Sheets using a personal Gmail account because Make.com can? Yes. In fact, I should have done it. Yes. Connect Google Sheets to your N8N. And when you connect Google Sheets to your N8N, go back to some AI and be like, tell it what your life goals are. And then put those life goals in the Google Sheets and have your AI track them for you. But compress them. Get your 10-year life goals and do them too. I promise you can, whether you join the workshop or not. Thank you all so much. I don't see any more questions. I'm gonna end the video with the